because they change it all the time.
Got it.
Okay. Hello, everybody. This is Elisha Keating from wisdomseekers.net. And no, we are not doing an interactive today. Maybe next Friday. And next year, yes, we're going to do it next year. So we are here at Table Talk. We're going to talk about spirituality. We're going to talk about what's it like to live a spiritual life. And I am in luck. The sound is off.
Oh. That's me. Oops.
So I'm going to introduce each person, and they're going to just say a little blurb about themselves. I'll start out with me. I'm Elisha. I work with Wisdom Seekers, and I'm switching from doing readings to doing more healings energy, more emotional healing energy. And I've got to say, I love it. I love it so much that, but that doesn't mean I won't continue readings. Okay, I am going to go to Maddie because Maddie's usually up and about.
Oh, I was muted.
I'm muted.
Muted. Hi, I'm Maddie. I'm the resident meditation lady. Every Wednesday night, just giving you a little bit of my smudge to clear out the energies of the old year, so we can bring in the new year all fresh and clean. Sending that all out to you in intention.
I can smell it.
I was just about to say that I can smell it.
So I say your intention's working.
That's good. That's good.
And I'm going to put Tom on the spot next.
Since there's a microphone in front of me, I'll introduce myself. Hi, I'm Tom. I've never done anything like this before. Relatively new, learning a lot. Happy to be here.
So we're going to put him on the spot a lot today. Just
Please do. No, I'm a talker, so I'm here.
And he's very eager to learn.
okay. And
Well, eager to learn. I think he knows more than I do in the 2 years he's been on this journey than I have the last 8.
Great.
yeah, I know my kids drive me insane. I learn something new and they'll go, I know that, Mom. All their lives, and they're both the same age. So it's either Maria or Spirit. Who goes first?
Maria's right there. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Maria, and been with Wisdom Seekers how long? It seems like forever, right? We know each other for a long time.
We've known each other at least 5 years.
Yes. But I think how long we've been on for like a little over a year, maybe a year, a little over a year, I think, right? Yeah. Sometime.
Time does not mean anything.
Nothing. Yeah, I don't know.
I have no concept of time. Like yesterday, Maddie talked about doing the meditation we did for the 21st, and I'm going, when did that happen?
Yeah.
A week ago, but I just like
Exactly. Time is irrelevant. But yes, so I'm having a lot of fun being on here, learning a lot of new things.
teaching a lot too.
Yes, but
You're also an amazing reader too.
Yeah, thank you. So it's been really awesome. So
There's
I like it.
one thing that seems to go across the board is they're all healers as well. At least that's what I've noticed.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Okay, Spirit.
Hi guys, I'm Spirit. I'm a reader with Wisdom Seekers. I do a lot of energetic work. How long have I been with you? I think I've known you.
Oh, 5 years too.
About the same amount.
Again, that's that time stuff. It just doesn't exist in my brain. So I've been on the spiritual path since I was born, I think, honestly. But I've learned a lot. I've healed a lot, and I really enjoy reading for everybody and being here. So fills my heart.
And both of them are amazing readers. I am so proud of them.
I'm going to shamelessly plug Maria. She's our love guru.
Yes. I'm not. Max was agreeing with you when you were saying that you do energy. So he's like, woof, woof, she does.
Oh yeah. So we
For
should.
some reason, Charlie has not come out of the closet since Tom has been here.
New presence, new energy.
Oh, he's fallen for.
Very afraid of him. I don't know why.
I got to pet
Beard.
Bubba.
He's got the beard.
Well, maybe it's the beard. He's not used to a beard, but he got Bubba let him love him, love him up.
Oh, really? That's
That's high
amazing.
praise. High
That would prove that you are a healer then.
praise.
So do you have a question, Thomas, about the spiritual life?
Oh, just one?
To start with.
So yeah, a whole bunch. No, a little over a year ago, my experience afforded me a Kundalini Awakening. I didn't know anything about it beyond the practices that I had learned to deal with stress and anxiety and depression. So I've been doing meditation and yoga and breath work came in, and my life started to change in certain ways, and then everything explodes in the most beautiful way. But
How did you, may I ask, if it's not too personal, how did you become awakened? Because that's really interesting for most people.
okay. I was in the woods on a hunting trip right after I had ended a relationship and decided to sell my house and quit my job. And my buddy was like, let's go clear our heads in the woods. Yeah, good idea. And my subtle body turned on. Like I could feel the chakras, I could feel the energy flowing through me from the base of my spine up and rippling through my body, and the I guess you call it clear cognizance that comes with it. And there was a point where it was like it got scary, and a very clear voice said, "This is beautiful," and relax into it and just let it. And so that whole process led me to Google rapid physical transformation, because it was a physical transformation. This was like my spine realigning, my shoulders relocating, everything. I'm looking at the full moon, wondering if I'm turning into a werewolf. Like it was. This is where that lore comes from. I realize now it's not a werewolf. It's one word. It's a werewolf. Like you become aware. You're on a werewolf now. That's
Well, that kind of makes.
that's the beginning.
Were you in a specific spot in the woods besides a full moon?
I was sitting on a pine tree that had snapped over. I was using it as a bench. It's in Northern Ontario.
Yeah. Okay,
Georgia. Yeah.
very lovely up there in Northern.
Very, very beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, that's rather exciting, actually.
That happened to me. Some version of that energetic experience happened to me 6 days in a row that week. So I got one every morning, and then just kind of marinated in it for the day.
One every morning.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And Kriya's like that have been a regular part of my life for the past year. Just go into a meditative state and let my body just intuitively yoga itself.
So you're on a set path then. You've made a contract with
Oh, yeah.
yourself, and
Yeah.
you're following it.
Yeah, I had forgotten that I signed that paperwork before I came down here, but
We all forget.
yeah, I'm back.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome is the word. Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty cool. So now ask a question you have an idea of the answer to, because I'm sure you have an idea to answers, and see what everybody has to say. Putting you on the spot real bad, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I should have warned you that she would do that.
That's true. What about the razor's edge? Is that a question you're interested in?
Go on.
So the razor's edge on the spiritual path, the razor's, a razor's very fine, right? So when you get on the spiritual path, it's very easy to fall off of it and be drawn away by the glitter and the glam of spirituality. And by now you've probably realized spirituality is really exciting, but it's not glamorous. It's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
But an example of being pulled off the spiritual path would be that you suddenly realize Jesus Christ is amazing, and you put all of your energy into worshiping him, and you actually even levitate, but all you're doing is worshiping the man, right? Or the idol. So that takes you off the razor's edge. You're no longer part of the spiritual path. You're stuck. but people don't recognize that because it feels spiritual. So what do you think? I'm not going to ask who, but somebody has an idea. Give it to me.
May I?
Sure.
You're gonna be answering a lot.
Cool. I'm here. I like talking.
That's what we need.
Right out of the gate, I was aware that the externalization of a spiritual truth is the flaw, if I can use that word, that religions impart. Like any religious structure externalizes that spiritual truth that is part of each individual person. So you don't need to get it from anywhere else. You don't need somebody to tell you that they can interpret any doctrine better than you can, because it has nothing to do with the doctrine. It has to do with your own intention and awakening that part of you that gives you the knowledge in the first place.
Your own beliefs and
It transcends beliefs, because I had a bunch of my beliefs get exploded that day, that week, where it was like, I have to reframe the entire structure, my conceptual structure of the universe. Like, it's different now. I have to really reinterpret how I see the world.
We call that a tower moment.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, that's kind of what happened to me when I had that bolt of lightning shoot down from the heavens when I was going through breast cancer.
Yeah.
And shot back up in that instant. That was my aha moment right there too.
I find a lot of aha moments come in shedding our concept of who we are, like deities and the razor's edge. We almost formulate an identity around like deities and stuff. So I find that it's actually a big part of the spiritual journey and growth is peeling back all those layers and titles of stuff and getting to the core of who we really are. It actually feels like an important part of the process, at least for me, from what I've experienced.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because somewhere underneath all of the societal layers that have been put onto you is the true you, the purest expression of you, devoid of anything that anybody said you were supposed to be or do.
Mm-hmm.
And those are so deeply ingrained that you really feel like they are you, and peeling them off is painful. And
big time. Mm-hmm.
Recently I got I made friends with a shaman, and she had a beautiful way of explaining it. It's just wearing articles of clothing. Like, you've got a closet full of garments that you wear, and some of them are useful and beautiful, like the mom garment or the brother garment or however, and they're different for each person. Each individual interaction is its own article of clothing, if you will. And then all of a sudden you realize you've been wearing this bulky snowsuit that you didn't even know was on, and your arms are all pushed out to the sides, and it's ratty and gross because you haven't been taking care of it. And you're like, I can put this back in the closet. I don't have to wear this. That was me trying to fill a role that's not me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
Very much
that's,
so.
I find that's the hardest thing to explain to people. What you just explained very simply.
I know. I said he's so far ahead of me.
I've been making beautiful friends this whole time. Actually, one of the major things that has pushed me into believing, like really actually accepting.
Mm.
You
You don't believe, because that's
hard.
Just turn, you know.
Yeah, well, that's right. Like mine is the tale of a doubting Thomas. I had to really get it drilled into me. What was I gonna say? Oh no, it'll come back.
Yes, it will. Maria, have you got anything to add?
No, you guys pretty much said it all. It's very interesting because I like how everybody's describing in a different way, so everybody can get something out of it. But yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. And it's funny how I can relate to that you go through a big change in your life. It's like, and sometimes it feels like you don't have control over it when you go through that big change. Like, stuff happens in your life where you're like a tower moment. And then that's when that you have the aha moments, the biggest aha moments, and then you grow so much in just a short time. And it's actually a very interesting ride. It's very interesting. That's at least to say, yeah. So
And sometimes we get physically ill.
Mm-hmm.
because our bodies are not at the same level as our spirituality, and we have to catch up.
Well, I'm prime example for that with me getting breast cancer. But then I also in 2012, as you know, that blood disorder that I've got started in 2012, and that's when I hear our molecular bodies were changing and our DNA is changing. And so since 2012, I've had this unknown condition in my blood that even my oncologist has never seen in anybody before. They can't explain it. They can't give me a name for it. All they can do is keep monitoring me.
It's because our bodies are changing from carbon-based to crystalline-based.
Well, I don't think I can tell him that. And don't
No,
worry about it.
you
My
can't.
molecular, I'm just changing.
I
Don't
tried to
tell
tell
him that.
somebody that.
Don't tell him that. You don't want that on your chart. They're gonna put you somewhere else.
Best thing I did was not go to a doctor. Yeah.
Well, at this point in me, it's just curiosity as to what they're going to find. I mean, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm perfectly healthy.
You know what they'll probably find is that you're an alien.
Finally, somebody can just
We were
clear
just
that up.
talking about this yesterday or the day before.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So I actually do a lot of work with people, helping them heal their hurts. And I'd say a good 50% of the people I work with, they go off planet almost immediately now. So, and I get to meet some of the most interesting aliens you can imagine.
Yeah, we do.
I think one of them is quite often blue. Yeah.
And it seems that part of our DNA is activating more so now too. Like it's coming to the surface. Another part of our identity, who we are, that deeper core level. It's that new energy coming in, right?
Well, you were saying to me about that picture that I had with the portal, that I am communicating with them in my sleep.
Yeah, I think you are. And a lot of us, I think that's also why we're so tired, because yes, we're acclimating to the new energy, but we're also going to the 5D in our sleep to acclimate that energy. So we're not really fully resting. And yeah, it's I think that's why so many people are tired. And it's funny, there's another message that wanted to come up, but then it left. I love when that happens.
I do that all the time.
Oh, we have people talking. Mostly people are saying hello. Lori Dotson, Camille, and Asel. I just can't, for some reason or other, it won't let me respond.
Oh,
I
I remember.
do you want to say something?
Yeah.
Dimension hopping. I think I talked to Elijah about dimension hopping. I think that's
Happening a lot.
Yeah, I think that's what Maddie was also kind of doing in her sleep, at least because the whole collective right now, we're kind of merging the different like energies. So that makes us weird. And kind of backpedaling a little bit, spirituality, it's not easy because when we awaken, we have to let go of all the things that don't serve us, right? So like I guess the terminology is the great awakening that people go through. They lose friends, family, even jobs. They wake up and their life doesn't feel like it fits them anymore, shedding those old identities. And I think that can be kind of hard, tiring. You lose a lot, but you also gain so much more in the end. You gain back who you really are.
And this is where you have to learn to trust and believe that whatever you're going through is your path, someplace you're meant to be. And learning how to do the trust thing. That's, I think, a big one for everybody. Just trusting that you're going to get through this.
Especially lately, because we can't, at least for me and from who I've talked to, is we can't see a few steps in front of us right now. It's very much just one step. And that's having to trust in the universe and ourselves. But you talking about getting breast cancer, I've noticed that a lot of energy and stuff can manifest in physical illness. For me, I got really sick. I was bedridden, couldn't walk. And that's another kind of heavier side to spirituality is things come up in our physical form that they manifest that we've kind of been putting down. And the time that we've been in the last year or two, it's kind of like we haven't had a choice. We've had to kind of go through that, and because we want to get rid of the old energy, so we have to process all this junk that's coming up, and it's been kind of tough. And yeah,
Mhm.
I'd be
physical
willing.
illness.
I'd be willing to share an experience
Okay.
that shines a little light on that. Sorry, Elijah, did you have something?
Oh, no, that's all right. I was just going to say it's really tough because right now we're doing it very quickly. We don't have space to,
And would that be why people get dizzy? Because the energies are going so fast?
well, vertigo is a spiritual disease, that's for sure. And that would be part of it. Part of the moving up high. Ask Maria that one, actually.
Yeah.
And
Is
dehydration.
Maria still awake?
Yes, I am. Yes, it is. And I was gonna say something to add to spirit, and I forgot. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So what it is like, so you're going through those big things, and even though you feel like you can't, like you're not gonna get through it at the moment. And then also, let's see, I'm losing my train of thought. So yeah, it'll come to me again. What gonna add something to it? Yeah, my brain is like, what? And that's another thing. Like, oh, when she said that you can only see a couple steps ahead now, 1-2 steps ahead, because before, like I was able to see a little more. So I mean, even though you still have to trust because you can see the complete picture. Right now, I don't know what's going on with the energy, but it's like everybody. I like personally, I feel like I'm in a fog, so I can't really see. Even though I still get like, my intuition, it works, everything's fine. I still don't see more than 1-2 steps ahead at a time. Before I used to see a little bit more of the bigger picture. Now it feels like I'm completely blinded. And also what I was saying is that it's so hard on our bodies because we're going through the big changes, and even people that are open, like, okay, I'm gonna let it go of the past. I'm gonna let go of all the old stuff. It's fine. Even though we're saying it, we still have a hard time really deep inside of us to letting go. So that's why I think that's why people do get physical symptoms, because even they're willing and they're more open, and even the people that don't, you can like really physically or see that they're holding on to stuff, they're having a hard time letting go of the past, or it takes a while to get rid of the past stuff, especially when it comes to your body, if that makes sense, because emotions and spiritual stuff, have effect on your body. So it's harder for your body, your physical, to let go. You can let it go in energy. So that's why I feel like people get physical, symptoms. And now because everything's going so fast, we have less time to let go of the, old stuff. So I think that's why people have more, even people that don't know what's going on, they're not more open or spiritual, they're having a hard time too. So
Yeah.
This was shown to me very clearly that week in the woods. A lot of my, I've been fairly healthy.
Gonna go feed Bubba.
Yeah, I've been fairly healthy, but my spine has always been like sore, kind of. And so what I ended up feeling was now I understand, like energy. It felt like energy flowing through my fascia, and it would like come up against blockages in between certain vertebrae or in my shoulder or something like that. And it would reach like a threshold, like a transition point. It would build up pressure, and then right as like almost like a knot, like if a massage therapist was massaging a knot out of your muscle or something, and it feels really good. Let that energy flow through, and then it would be like a clarification, revelation, like you didn't spend enough time with your grandfather before he died. Oh, and then you cry. Like I would cry that out, and the energy releases, and my spine stands a little bit straighter after something like that. And there was that's one example of dozens of releases that I got that first week, and many more through the past year. And every single one is an unresolved emotional trauma. That's something that hasn't been said out loud, written down, processed in some way. And so many people, nobody to talk to, that they just build up and compound. And that's where you get cancer, goiter, baldness, like whatever physical representation in the body of some sort of illness is absolutely a reflection of unprocessed emotional trauma.
Did you do this all by yourself?
Yes.
That's too bad. It's so much easier when you have somebody to not to ask and talk about it.
Bounce things off.
Oh, I've had a digital spiritual community friends. I've had a lot of friends who were ahead of me at the beginning of this, and I've been able to bounce ideas around and have conversations. So no, I have not done this by myself. But in the physical world, yeah, I've been relatively alone.
I think you're going to find that a lot of the spiritual community is online.
Yes.
Because we kind of spread all over the world, which we have to be if we're going to help the world elevate. We can't be situated all in one spot.
I think that this technology is affording us the scale of awakening that we're seeing because we are a global community.
Absolutely.
So just before we go farther on, Nikki, we all know Nikki. She's got, I just got a message from her husband, and she's quite sick, and they're asking for, we suspect it's COVID, and it hit her lungs. They're asking for healing to bring it into alignment quickly.
Nikki who? Our
Nikki,
Nikki?
yeah, our Nikki Reynolds.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So just for people out there like Patricia and Lori and Lily and everything. So yeah. So Patricia from Wales, she says that the energy is coming in very fiery right now. It's interesting because she's an astrologer.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I've noticed too is that all the healing we've been doing, it's like we're also doing healing for other people, like our ancestors and people we're connected to. That we can also do the surrogate work, but it's like generational trauma breaking almost.
I've been on a lot of my astrology and tarot card readings that I listen to. A lot of them are bringing up my ancestors and ancestral healing. So yeah, I have to agree with that.
I just got some very sad news.
What now?
Betty White passed away.
Oh no! Ah,
Believe that's coming up to 100 years old.
I know,
she had a good life, that lady.
But like,
No, she's supposed to be immortal.
but I know, but Betty White, she's forever.
Yeah.
Keith Richards is still kicking though, right?
Yeah. Keith Richards is gonna go forever.
Oh, yeah, she's hilarious.
Same with Ozzy.
Oh, that's too bad. But you know what? She had a great life and she lived it the way she wanted to. And
She did, and I can't mourn her. We have to celebrate her.
absolutely. Well, that's another thing I think learning about spirituality is you don't look at death the same way.
That's for sure.
Before I used to mourn the death, now I celebrate it more than anything. And I'm so grateful that my loved ones are on the other side of the veil, living a beautiful, wonderful life, or coming back and starting over again.
It's almost like a graduation, like a celebration. I was excited for my grandparents when they passed because I knew they were stepping into a place where they would feel so much better, lighter, and could do so much more. Like it's like they were returning. Well, of course, it's returning home, but also returning to themselves. And I could still feel them. So I feel the same way, Maddie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My mother passed away 5-6 years ago. Coming up 6, I guess, and she was 97. And she went in. I thought, because I'm a medium, I thought I should go check on her. I go check on her, and she goes, "Not now, dear. I'm talking to your aunt and uncle." Okay, you're fine.
Well, before I was even on my spiritual path, my sister passed away when she was 53 years old. And I did mourn her death until I had a dream of her. And she was so beautiful. She was back to the beautiful, healthy, fun-loving sister that I grew up with. And she was leading the choir of heaven and so happy doing it.
That's really cool.
Well, after that dream, I couldn't mourn her death anymore. I was so happy for her.
That's
She tried to pull me up onto stage to sing with her.
Of course.
But me being the I don't know how to say it. I don't have the courage in myself to sing out in front of public.
Fly
I
me
sing
to the moon.
Well, that's me.
Oh, you got a good voice.
Listen to a few of his videos.
I do silly things sometimes
Oh, so you do videos then, eh?
when I'm in the mood. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So we will get you on again, eh? I'm just talking to people here. I'm not trying to be rude.
I've noticed that a lot of spiritual people, even if they're not aware of it, end up sort of being like a death doula. Just by being around, like our energy helps to sort of bring them home and bring in that energy. Have you guys noticed that too? So I've noticed with past pets, my grandparents, it was actually a really beautiful experience. I was sitting with my grandfather and I started smelling flowers. No one else in the room could smell it. And I just started feeling like energy all around and like sort of like gifting him to my grandmother actually. But I find from other people I've talked to, they have the same thing where their energy just kind of goes when death is around it. I'm actually positive like it's not so kind of beautiful.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I can sense when somebody is about to pass. It used to terrify me when I was younger. Now I kind of, not that I don't want to know, but I think I'm aware of it when people are about to.
You're more aware of.
Yeah, and it doesn't scare me anymore. So also too, though, if you're scared, then you associate it, you manifest like negative things in your mind. Now that I'm not scared of death or all the good stuff, I have more positive stuff too. Like I will smell roses or I will see pleasant things. And it's usually things that makes them, makes that person is about to pass or their family like connects them in some way. So I think the most recent thing I did, I think I saw a bench. It was very weird with flowers around it. And I don't remember because I don't remember when I get messages. I don't remember exactly, but it was so detailed that the person that I said to, they're like, oh my goodness, that was my grandfather's favorite place to go since I was little until I guess he just passed not long ago. So that was very interesting. But it's funny because the messages start like, because I see like literally the bench and then it just gets bigger and bigger and I see more things. People, when I start throwing stuff, people look at me like, that is so random. I'm like, yeah, I know. So when I was younger, I was like, I am not saying that. That sounds crazy. It makes no sense. And that's another thing. You need to trust yourself because even though it makes sense to you, it makes sense to somebody else, but even to you, it will make sense eventually when you so trust the process and trust the messages you're getting. So I feel you're always getting help. You're always getting messages to help you through this craziness right now. So, yeah.
It's funny you mentioned spiritual amnesia, about not holding on to other people's energy.
I don't.
That has been going on. I don't know about you guys, but going on with me a lot. Where it's like even earlier, I'll get a message, just poof, gone, and I wonder if it's just not meant to.
Come
It's
back
not meant
when
to
you
come out.
need them. That's the thing, right?
Mhm.
Would that be why I'm having such an issue right now finishing my meditation that I need to write? Because I cannot get anything into my head. I sit there and I'm just writing gibberish. When I go back and read it, I'm probably going to go, what the hell was I thinking?
Well,
But I'm having a very hard time getting words down on paper.
so what I think you should do is ask Tom to give you a clearing.
That's a nice idea.
Hand on each side of her head, go woo woo woo.
Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, that might actually
Bad
spit her.
mom. Bad advice. Bad.
Sorry, but one thing I do say, and I always say this: spirituality, if it's not joyful, it's not spirituality.
Well, I better have a little joy.
And that's not joy. That's
Good
just
thing we can laugh. We can laugh about
Yeah.
things.
Sometimes it's good to be goofy. It gets all that energy flowing, right?
You have to be goofy. Don't not be goofy.
Oh, he's been forcing me going into the snow after a hot tub.
Oh yeah, we're doing cold plunges. Oh yeah.
Oh my.
Oh,
That's not goofy though. That's just human.
Ugh. I mean, that's goofy.
Humans are pretty goofy.
But I do get that. Ask Tom to help you out.
Yes.
I will. Maybe I'll read my meditation to you and you can give
Oh, that's
me.
fantastic.
All he has to do is go like that with your forehead, really.
I'm not gonna hit her. I'm just doing that.
That joke is
I don't know. The show should clear you up pretty fast anyhow.
Yeah.
See people walking around town now,
Mhm.
smacking people.
No, it's spiritual. It's cool.
Really, it's
cool.
what you need.
I've actually seen that happen, and it's supposed to be spiritual.
Actually, yeah, there could be some Shaktipat or something. Yeah.
Well, a little warning would be good.
Oh no,
I
that
think
would
it
never
works.
take the fun apart.
Sorry?
I think it works. I hit my boys upside the head all the time, and sometimes it works, right? My teenagers.
Waking them up. Yeah.
So that's like a clearing, right? What were you thinking? Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't know. That was not smart. Yeah, no.
Pick up that crown chakra.
So, you know, if it works for my
It's a
teenagers.
really quick way to align things.
One thing too, though, is sometimes like I think I'll be giving gibberish too, and like I won't understand what the heck this is, but the person that receives it makes total sense for them too. And
Yeah.
like I'll get like the one time I got something about soup. I was like, soup? No. I said, and I ended up saying it, and they're like, oh yeah, I used to have soup with my father all the time. I was like, oh okay. Right. Like,
Yeah. It's random
Well,
stuff.
think about-
That's it. Something that you don't get will always mean something to whoever you're reading for or passing that message on to, right? And
Yeah. Or even
that's where you
yourself.
have to trust your process, that whatever's coming to you, no matter how silly it seems, is what's meant for that person.
That's exactly right. To me, it seems like it's whatever vibration you're bringing to the experience is what's needed. Like that. And if it's a bummer, then somebody needs to see the bummer. But for me, like driving aimlessly across Canada and running into people along the way has been exactly what I've needed and everyone else has needed too. And beautiful synchronicities. That's what I was going to say earlier. I could never have appreciated the reality of all of this without the synchronicities that I've had. They become so undeniable.
You've been
that-
helping people spiritually along the way also, right?
inadvertently, yeah. Like,
And so when I mentioned that to my friend Kate, she went, oh, he's a conduit.
I've been called the traveling shaman. This is things that people keep saying to me, and along the way, like it made sense for me to stay at a Buddhist monastery for a month. So it was like along the way, I needed a place to stay for that long, and that fell into my lap, and then I, can get to develop my meditation practice that much more, and
So
meet a
there's-
bunch of cool people who come through there all the time.
Yeah, there's no such thing as inadvertent.
Right now,
That's
yeah,
what?
inadvertent.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it's synchronous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the very, so I ran into him actually at our little corner store when he was there with my granddaughters. Kind of just out of the blue, I stopped in and they were there. And I'm kind of looking at them going, boy, their dad has changed.
The fact that they were comfortable with me disarmed their grandma in public, so that's good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see Maddie being kind of protective of her grandkids.
Yeah.
What is this man doing with my grandkids? I don't know.
That was it. She's like, so I'm their grandmother. Who are you?
So after we introduced ourselves and shook hands, he went, this is very serendipitous, a serendipitous meeting. And here we are.
Why was it serendipitous?
Because there's no such thing as coincidence. It wasn't much long later that you offered up a bedroom to me, which is
Like the next day.
not the first time that happened. That keeps happening. It's work.
That works, yeah. So do you realize we've been talking for 41 minutes already?
Oh, wow. Times flies when you're having fun, right?
Yeah. So I guess there's a bunch of fires in Colorado.
Colorado.
I saw something.
Wildfires burn hundreds of homes in Boulder Country, forces evacuation of Superior and Louisville.
Wow. Well, there's more clearing going out, I guess, right?
Yep,
Like,
so
you have to look at it that way, I think.
Yeah, somebody, Patricia said, is it?
It's not
Oh,
okay.
hang on, I don't know, I lost it.
She
But
said
did-
fires in California is so terrible. We need to send prayers.
Yeah, and there's something about the fire, the energy in astrology right now is fire.
Uh,
So it's
Well, I would-
everything being burned up.
I
I wonder,
wonder,
Maria. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I know that the individual's experience, like your world begins to present itself in such a way that it encourages you to wake up. And the farther you are from that realization, the more intense the messages will be. It starts as a whisper and it turns into a freight train if you're not careful. So
Exactly.
it's interesting to me to have experienced it individually and then look for the patterns, and you can see it culturally. You can see it even just in, I mean, any size of community, right? And so like you can see it on national scales based on who's governing. I don't want to talk politics, but that mechanism scales. It's like water. And so so it really it's interesting to see it in California because Colorado.
It always happens in California right now.
That too, yeah.
Happening bad, in not bad.
And
Interesting.
in expedited energy now, so everybody's being kind of shaken awake a little bit. Like if you needed something to encourage you to change your life in certain ways, a fire will do that. Some other things will definitely, shake up the board.
well, and that's just it, right? When you're not listening or paying attention or following what you're supposed to be doing, I think the universe really does step in and slap you up. Gives you one of those.
There is no fighting the universe, I've noticed, and it's that crunch time energy. Like we've kind of been dilly-dallying for like hundreds of years. So now it's just like, well, we have to. But we've been doing really good because we're past that Atlantis energy now. And I wonder if that's why we have like that fog. It's because it is so new with humanity that we haven't gotten to this place before. Like well, that's not true. It's before time and beyond time.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're right. Earth-wise, we've never been here before. It is energy that's out there and we're familiar with it, but not from an Earth perspective. It's, if we want to remember it, we have to go back to beyond when we were human.
yeah, and I think that's why things are a little bit tumultuous for people and like the human collective is because we have to kind of anchor that new energy. In order to do that, we have to get the past energy out of the way. And unfortunately, it's a cleansing process. Can't fight it. I've noticed. I've had so many spiritual tantrums like, oh, what the universe, this does not work.
I hear Socrates, the secret to change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new.
Mm-hmm.
We need to tell scientists and political doctors that.
Just build the new. Can't fight the old. Just lead by example.
Yeah. But yeah, things are shifting and changing dramatically. I've heard this from a few astrologers. They figured that, and I lost it again. They figure that Corona pandemic will be over by April, 4th month.
That's what Patricia just said here.
Yeah, no, I've heard it from other people as well.
By March or April 2022, yeah.
Does that mean people will see through it? Wow, that's fun.
See through it or just going to disappear?
Yeah, stop caring. Yeah, wow.
I think people are I think a lot of people are stopping, not caring, but not buying into it.
Yeah, right.
Well, I
Because-
think that's starting to happen a lot more on a global level.
Because Maria has a story that would explain why you don't forget about it. And it's because it's a 2-week-old baby story.
Oh yeah, I work with kids, so yeah. So I mean, I just just be mindful and just be careful, because it's still around. So, and we've been really crazy at work now because with the rise of it. So, and it didn't used to not affect kids as bad or at all. And now it is. So it's kind of sad to see. So
Yeah.
like I said, you still need to live life. Just be mindful when you're out in public and stuff. Just take the extra steps to just take care of yourself, you know what I mean, and your family members, especially the really little young ones and the older ones and immunocompromised ones. So that's it. Just yeah.
So one thing I read about this Omicron, it does affect people, and just this is just a word to the wise who have diabetes. For some reason or other, it affects them a little more so than the others.
Wonder why.
And I just read a
Many
lot.
things,
That's
so
why.
I don't know. I was reading yesterday that the Omicron gives you antibodies to fight against the Delta and COVID.
If you get Omicron and you've had your shots, you're like 1,000% more immunity. So,
That's not what they said, but
well,
they just said if you got Omicron, they didn't bring the vaccine into the picture at
yeah,
all.
I know, but the people still have to follow some dictates unless they want to be brought into the woke community in a negative way.
This is the line that's being danced right now. Can we talk about it? Like, I've got so many things I want to say right now. I've been
Yeah.
forming these thoughts too, but there is an intersection between spirituality and physical well-being.
There has to be.
And that to me has a lot to do with how you see yourself, how you see the world, how you treat your body, if it's clean, if it's healthy, if your immune system is strong in the first place. And then the fear that you bring to that, like if you're afraid of getting sick, you're going to get sick.
Yeah, my cousin or my niece is prime example of that. She worried about it so much, and now she's gotten everything that you can possibly think of that COVID could bring.
As you think, as you speak, you create.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but a lot of people are not like, for example, I think there's a balance when it comes to that. A lot of people are not really afraid, but then they're not really aware that, okay, if I don't think like that, or they don't know how to not let everything that's going around them really affect them. Because I mean, especially if you see it every day and you live in that, then you can get like, okay, it's probable for it to happen to me, or if it happened to your family member, or what if it happens to me or my kids. So it's the fear you have, right? So it has to be a balance.
I think that's what we have to work through, is that fear.
Exactly.
Find a way to deal with that fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, fear is the only thing that's going to kill you, but there's another level to that too. Some of the people who've come in to help the earth elevate, they're not used to being in a human body, and so they have a hard time regulating or keeping the body in shape. And so I spent a good deal of my life from time I was like 8 years old. I've been ill a lot, not because I was afraid of it. I didn't even know they existed, those kind of diseases. But I also know that I've come from away. And I can say also spirit has had a lot of this happening as well, because she's not from Newfoundland, but she still came from away.
Mm-hmm. It's very hard acclimating to, because they say that Earth is like one of the densest realities, densest dimensions, whatever you want to call it. And for a being, which we all are light beings, to come from such a high frequency to such a dense frequency, it very much can make us sick. And then you add on top of the families you're born into, and you have to clear your own stuff and their stuff, and it is a lot. But because we are clearing it, it makes 3D living a little easier, because we are getting closer to that higher frequency. So yes, a lot of people are sick right now, but I feel like in the future it might start to get a little bit easier, because we're going to clear so much away, and that could be years in advance. You never know.
No, I think it's happening now, because look at me compared to what I was 5 months ago or a year ago.
True, it is very.
I'm a lot healthier. And now Maria, on the other hand, she also probably came from away, but she's just dang stubborn. She doesn't get sick.
No.
I have not had a flu in 25 years, over 25 years. 25 years ago was the last time I had a flu.
Yeah.
And if I get a cold, I take a little bit of my essential oils and put it on the bottom of my feet and on my chest. I wake up the next day and it's gone.
Yeah, I do the same thing. And that's the thing, like, that's why I'm saying with balance. People at work look at me funny, but it's a balance. You don't need Western medicine to heal most of the things, but sometimes you do need Western medicine to intervene. But like, I see these parents bring their babies in for like a bug bite or like a little cold that just started. It's like, we're not going to do anything. You're just going to tell you have a common cold. You're going to go home. That's it. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can do. And it's funny because when I was little, my parents never took me to the doctor for like the random things. Sometimes I'm like, ooh, I probably should have went to the doctor for that. But they're like, you're fine. And I'm like the worst. My boy's the same way. I'm like, you sound fine. You look fine. Even before I was in the medical field, I'm like, you're good. You can walk on it. It doesn't look broken. Just go. You're fine. You're just fine.
Oh boy, I did that with my youngest once, and it ended up being a fracture in her shin.
Yes.
Not walking off.
Yeah.
Her dad took her to the hospital, and yeah, for sure she had a fracture.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to know with that though.
Yeah, I felt like a really bad mother.
Well, I did that too. Elle, she fell and I watched her fall and she fell in slow motion. She says, my ankle's broken. I said, no, it's not. Go to school. So that we were in Mexico at the time and the taxi driver took her around the block, brought her back and says, her ankle's broken. But I swear, how could it break? She fell in slow motion.
She's like, it's fine. Yeah. No.
Yeah. And also, again, their middle daughter, her father took them swimming and she slid along a marble floor into a sharp angle and broke her foot. He made her walk all the way home on it.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, sometimes we should be a little more careful, but my kids were brought up.
Maybe
If it's not, if you can breathe and it doesn't hurt, get going.
You just don't know until you know. It's fine. I mean, like I said, they're fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you die? Did you die? No, you didn't. So you're good.
I know.
You know, that was like, Nico's like, I don't feel it. My head hurts. I'm like, you're fine. He's like, yo, like, did you drink water? Did you poop today? Did you eat? He's like, you never listen to me. I'm like, no, but that's what number one thing is. Did you poop? You feel better? Yes. Okay, that's what it was. I'm not going to take you to the doctor because you didn't poop. You know.
But nowadays you go to the doctor with your eyes look sideways, you know.
I know. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, but it is what it is. It's fine.
Well, I hear that if you don't see your doctor a few times a year, that they put you on this list where they kind of kick you out.
Really?
Oh yeah, I've had a friend of mine said she had to look for a new doctor because she just was never sick, so she never saw her doctor for over a year. And when she went to go, they went, nope, sorry, you're not here anymore. You're on some kind of stupid list. So I've got to make up something to go and see my doctor so I don't get kicked off of her list.
Yeah, because it's hard enough finding doctors right now.
Yeah, do that. That's not. I think what he means is like you need to go for your yearly checkups. But even if you don't go, I think it's more than 3 years. Then you become a new patient, and if they're full, then they can't take you in. But if you go for yearly stuff, which I have
here in the States, so this is Canada. Things are different up here, I think.
probably.
Well, they have so many patients, right? And they're not, all the doctors we have in town, none of them that I know of are taking new patients.
Nobody's taking new patients here either. Like parents come in for their random things and they're like, well, because our PCP can't see us. And I'm like, why? Like stuff that you can go to your doctor and, they can give you something instead of coming to the urgent care waiting for like 4 or 5 hours because they're like, yeah, we can't get an appointment for 3 weeks. And I'm like, okay, that's too long, so, but it's everywhere right now. And some doctors won't see patients with, if you have a cough or if you have any symptoms. So
if you have any symptoms up here, you have to go have a COVID test before they'll allow you in.
Yeah, but the same thing. I don't know here. I mean, like I said, I work for kids. So I'm pretty sure it's worse for adults, but they say, oh, go to the urgent care and get a test. And it's like, no, go to the urgent care to get a test. Please don't. But yeah, so I don't know what PCPs, like regular doctors are doing right now. Like, don't they want, like patients? How they make the money? It makes no sense whatsoever. I don't know. Rent over, sorry. But yeah.
So today our head doctor said that we can now get home kits for testing COVID.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
except that half the time they don't work, right, Spirit?
Yeah, I had 2 at-home rapid tests and they were negative, and I was so sick. I'm still on the tail end of it, recovering. I'm like 99% sure I had Omicron, or I can't say it, Omicron. I was sleeping like almost 2 days straight. My eyes were like, I had all the symptoms, but it came up negative. Strange.
Did you do it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was not comfortable. I felt, yeah.
I mean, you're big, but I have people that come in and they're like, yeah, I gave him a home test and it was negative. So I test them the same day and I was like, oh, our tests are more sensitive, but still, I think if you have symptoms for longer than 3 days, it should show up on the home test too. Like my sister is positive, but she was on day 7, I think, and her work wanted her to go back. So she took a home test and it was positive. I'm like, don't you dare go back to work. This is why we're so busy at work. And I'm like dying. She's like, I'm not going back. She's like, I still have symptoms anyways. But yeah, I think it's not as accurate, but it should still be accurate. And especially towards the, if you have symptoms more than a few days, it should be accurate, if people do it right.
There's also part energy too, I think, with me, because everybody was kind of feeling that like tired kind of feeling, and
not as tired as you.
no, I think it was both. Like, I was incapacitated.
I've been in bed just about every day, all day long. And I can't get out of bed. I'm so tired.
It's like being incapacitated. And I think the universe, again, is at work. You can't fight it. It's that acclimation time making you sort of sit down and just rest, so we can bring in that new stuff.
Well, I was listening to a guy this morning by the name of Lee Harris. He channels also. The big thing for January is we all need to just stay inside ourselves, get lots of rest, because apparently come February things are going to start going at a pretty fast pace.
February 3rd, we go into the year of the tiger. So yeah, it should be fun.
That's very interesting because February 22 has been popping up for a couple of years now. So I think that's February 2022. So I thought it was the day.
22? Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. And then it's funny because I was driving, I think, to work yesterday, and I don't even know what the ad was for. It was a billboard, and he said February 22. I think it said February, 22. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm paying attention. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm kind of scared. Why are you telling me this 2 years in advance, 3 years in advance? Let's see what's going to happen. So should be a lot of.
Another thing I heard also was the year 2022 is going to be strength. We will need strength. Not sure what for, if it's all good or bad, but we have to build up some strength and come into our power.
The tiger makes me think of inherited strength, like it's already within us. It's just coming to the surface because it's divine strength, right?
Yes.
That's what makes
I like it.
Good strength for each of us collectively, but also as a collective, like the world is going to be needing strength because something big is going to be happening.
I think it already is. I think that's all the fire, like literally and metaphorically, all the fire. I think, which is funny because I follow a lot of different things, but even from the religious aspect, the fire that cleansed everything. So you see it on
Fires
different
and floods. And, yeah.
Yeah, you see it in a lot of different platforms. So they're all talking about the same thing, just everybody don't know that they're talking about the exact same thing, just in different ways. So
Yeah.
very interesting. Like, the fire that cleanse, the holy fire that's supposed to cleanse everything, literally. So
Well, I mean, look at us last summer. Our whole province pretty much was on fire.
that was crazy. Is it fires around this time of the year? I thought it was like the spring or summertime. Isn't that kind of
January, usually it starts in the June, July. 'Cause
Yeah.
by July, August, it gets
August,
really
but
hot here.
This year it started in June, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's,
And then we had god awful floods this fall. So I tell you, our province should be clean.
you're like,
if you
it's
could
clean.
breathe through it, it was
We're
clean.
energetically good now.
Feel like we don't need any more. It's clean. It's good. I promise. Nothing else.
This is
Well,
why I came to a nice, quaint, spiritual community. So there's no
There
more
you go.
disruption. We're good here. We're good.
What did you just call us? Quaint?
Oh no, I meant where I am now in British Columbia.
Did you just call us quaint?
Our little town he was calling quaint.
You're quaint too. That's good. That's cool. That's cool.
That's funny.
Yeah. So Patricia just asked if the January 3rd peace meeting was still on, and it's not a peace meeting, it's prophecy. We're going to do prophecy on January 3rd. What time, Spirit? Do you know?
Well, it's 4 p.m. our
4 p.m.?
time.
I
Right?
think. I told you I think. I don't
Oh.
know. That's why Spirit stands.
It was, I believe, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so Nicola can be.
So 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock
But
our
I
time.
will connect everybody.
I'm
And
not going to be here. I have to go to my dentist.
No.
Well, we'll put Tom on
He
then.
said he'll sit in for me until I get home.
Okay. He can do prophecy then. I'm pretty darn certain he can. He looks like a prophet.
But he looks like a prophet.
Well, he does.
I know. I just love it. I'm sorry.
What do I do with that? Come on.
Smile.
It's a
Just told me I was
compliment,
quaint.
It's a compliment.
It is.
Uh-huh. Just calling me old, right?
All right, I'm pulling up Webster's definition of quaint right now.
It's pretty funny. Oh my goodness.
That's what I said to my brother. I said, we have to start manifesting because we're trying to sell a farm in Saskatchewan. I said, start manifesting that. He's like, well, what does manifesting mean? So I told him what my definition of manifesting was. He brought up like every different dictionary's manifestation description he could find. He goes, that's none of them. Your way is no manifestation.
I think
Oh.
it's very individual, though. It all depends on what feels right to us, right? Because like
He's like, oh, so a mind
people
over matter kind of thing. Oh, well, then why didn't you just say that?
I was about to say, find out yourself a new manifesting buddy, because I don't think he help you there.
Right.
Yeah.
do.
No, thank you.
So
Right.
Patricia says that you do look like a prophet. Okay, what is it?
Quaint, attractively, keyword attractively, unusual or old fashioned. So I was
Old
thinking-
fashioned.
That's not what I meant.
Told
That's
you
not
you're
what I
calling
meant.
me old.
It's still a compliment.
Why don't
I'm
you-
old
why
fashioned
don't you
too.
go
I'm
with-
quaint then. I love it. That sounds good.
Why don't you go with the attractively unusual?
Unusual too.
Yeah, I know, but the last word was
The last word was fashioned.
That's my favorite donut. Old fashions are great.
yeah. So we've been on for a little over an hour. How are we doing?
Well,
Pretty good.
it's been fun so far.
Okay. So I lovely look forward to that. Happy New Year, everyone.
Who is
As
he? Who
Patricia
is he?
says.
So Patricia, this is my daughter's friend that she met in Australia 15 years
Actually,
ago.
she's Maddie. He's Maddie's friend as well.
Yeah, I'm everyone's friend.
Well,
Pretty
yes,
friendly.
he's my new friend.
Mhm.
My new friend. That's yeah, very much on a spiritual level, and I think to help me grow too.
And he's another Canadian, eh?
For
Hey.
sure. Yeah, for sure.
You know, I think that most Canadians say yeah, no, or yeah, yes. Or
Yeah, no, I do
no.
that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
More
no.
than we say a
There's A's, there's yeah, no.
or no, yeah.
Made it confusing so many people. They're like, well, which one is it? Yes or no?
I know it's kind of confusing, and I didn't realize how much I did it till I started listening back to my Zooms.
I know, I catch myself saying that all the time. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I
That
love
could
it.
be a no. So you say, yeah, no, for sure. And then you know for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I know when I talked to you on when we're messaging and you said yeah, no, I was like yes or no. And like I don't get it. I'm like, oh, okay. After a while I got it. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I do think that's more Canadian than a.
It is. I think it is. Mhm.
Yeah.
Funny.
So do you realize, Maria, you're the only American on here? That's
What?
really strange. It's usually
It
the other
is.
way around.
Yeah.
And I'm not even really American. I'm Greek. So
That's true. That's why you're tough.
Were you born in Greece?
yes.
Were you?
Yes.
Do you go back?
I haven't been back. I think we're going this fall, this coming September. My sister and my cousins we're gonna go this year. They've been back. Haven't been back yet.
I'd
But
love
her
to go to
but
Greece.
her
That'll be nice.
grandmother taught her a lot of magic and things over from
Your
Greece.
mother does? So is your mom spiritual and does she,
My grandmother, not my mother. Yeah. Yeah.
your grandmother?
Yeah, on my dad's side. Mhm.
So she's psychic also?
Yes, she was. Yeah, very. Mhm.
Or was?
Yeah. So yeah, I was born and raised there. My parents moved to Michigan. Obviously, I don't know why they moved to Michigan when I was 12. So
Oh,
that
wow.
was a shock from an island to Michigan. But yeah, in December,
No kidding.
I want to go outside. I was So then when I was old, well, 7 years ago now, I moved to Texas because it's warmer. So I was like, I cannot do the snow anymore or the cold.
Ugh,
20 degrees.
I hear you there. We're in a deep freeze right now.
If I was going to be
It's
in
only-
Michigan, it would be the upper peninsula part of Michigan. That would be.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, it's too
North
cold.
of anywhere is the beautiful part of anywhere.
I mean, yeah, it's beautiful there, but I don't like the cold. So, yeah.
It's only minus 15 here, Maddie. It's not that
Only.
cold.
Only.
Oh, it's balmy.
Oh, I was out ice skating yesterday. I had ice all over my beard. It was a beautiful day.
They went to Vernon to Silver Star and did
Okay.
tubing down the mountain and skating and
For
So
real,
you-
actually, if we're talking about grounding and building up strength for January, I'm gonna do a lot more woods time. Like, man, just walking in the woods is so much.
they went up Mount Ida the
So-
other day.
Okay, but if you want a really short trip, just go to you know where the baseball diamond is in Canoe?
Oh, he's been there with Destiny numerous times.
Okay, so because that's, for a quick walk, that's a beautiful little place.
Mhm.
So,
Well, I told him we have 91 hiking trails around here, so he does have his pick.
I've got cleats. I want to climb a mountain.
Except for I
oh,
said,
we have a
"Can you
place called Little Mountain. You can climb that in like 15 minutes.
the Little Mountain Park.
15 minutes.
Yeah, because it's a little mountain.
That's a bump.
Bump. Is that where Little Mountain Park is?
Yeah, that's Little
I
Mountain.
have lived there all my life, and I have never been all my life for the
You've
last.
never
14
been
years, I've
there?
been to Little Mountain.
Oh my God,
You've never
I
lived
know,
up
it's
We'll
terrible.
go hike a bump.
it's beautiful up there. But if you go now, you need cleats.
Or snowshoes, which neither I have.
No, cleats, because
I-
because so many people walk there with their dogs. It's ice by now.
Yep.
Well, I do not have any.
Mm. Anyhow, this is devolved into a definite
Into a
coffee
coffee
chat.
chat.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is now.
So do we have any questions, answers for spiritual people?
You are exactly where you're supposed to be.
There we go.
I like that.
I like it.
And that's true. We are exactly where we're supposed to be, no matter how easy or hard we are having a time right now.
Even if it doesn't feel like it, you are where you're supposed to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So be
And
gentle with yourselves and love one another because love is the most truest energy out there.
Yes, be nice to people. Be nice to people that take care of you too.
Well,
Your baby.
that's the one that I posted, and it said something about don't be nice to people. What was it? Don't be nice to people just because. Be nice to people because you're nice.
Exactly.
Oh, I like that.
Feels good to be nice.
Patricia says, have to go. Take care, everyone. Make a wish on the new moon, 1st or 2nd January. It is in Capricorn, which means
Yay.
that Maria has a birthday coming up. And
Yes.
my mouthy daughter in the background has a birthday coming up.
Happy
And
birthday,
Xavier,
lady.
Xavier's a Capricorn too. January
Who
15th.
is?
My son, Xavier.
Okay, that's probably why he's also stubborn.
He is.
That's
Yeah.
why I like him so much. There you go. I knew there was a reason why I liked him so much. There you go.
Yeah.
So that's what you're Pisces, right? So that was
You're
something. like-
Pisces. Oh, no.
Everyone
know.
says that. Everyone says, oh, he's a Pisces. Oh.
But I just heard yesterday that 2,000 years of Pisces energy is coming to an end.
I'm also a tiger, so there's that.
So
Yeah.
tiger, burning bright like the fire in the night.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it'll be feisty.
So this is your year.
Mhm.
This is your year. The Chinese astrology. This is your year.
Yeah.
Next year is mine? No.
No.
Yeah. 12, 10. No, the year after is mine.
What's
Mm.
next?
I'm not sure. I think dragon.
No,
What's next then?
That'll fit right in with L.
Google it.
No, I know.
Dragon was Layla is 10.
Mhm. Okay.
So it's
So
not dragon.
so it's a 10, 11, 12, 2 more years than, and Fisher's 10. No, it's Layla is a year younger than Fish.
Yeah. In 2020, in 22, Fisher will be 11.
Okay, yeah. So my grandson is exactly 60 years difference in age minus like 20 work days,
19.
19 days.
No.
And we're both rabbits, and we're both iron rabbits.
Oh,
Iron rabbits.
Yeah,
Rabbits?
yeah,
Never even heard of that.
yeah. So there's fire, iron,
Wood,
Wood.
earth, wood,
wood, and earth.
air,
I think they only do 4. The
5.
okay. I don't argue with her. She's a Capricorn.
yeah, you're like, sure, whatever you say.
Okay, Libra.
Shots fired.
So I guess I should end this with a wise saying, and
What, Mom?
And we
Why?
should say Happy New Year to everybody.
yeah, that I can do that too. But I'm going to give you a wise saying: don't take any wooden nickels. And okay, so on January 3rd and Spirit's going to put out the timing probably
Yeah.
about now, because so people can know, we will be on probably YouTube, because ultimately we get more views on YouTube. Please share, like, comment so that we get more views, because you know they're cranky with us if we don't. YouTube and Facebook are very cranky with us if we don't ask for these things.
The
So
prophecies will be pinned to the top of the page if anyone wants to take
Then
a
I
look.
do my meditation Wednesday night too.
yeah, this time it's her turn.
I got so discombobulated. I'm sorry.
Zoom thing.
We both did. It's because we have no sense of
Supposed to be
time.
on.
Yeah.
Actually, on the 5th, Nicola's doing doing hers, and on the 6th we switch days to. So if you can't do it on the 6th, we'll switch. We'll get
Want me to do it on the 6th?
Yeah.
Instead of the Wednesday?
yeah, and then it'll go back to the regular time. It's just Nicola has something going on the 6th.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're just switching the days,
Oh, okay.
and hopefully I will get back to interactives. I got a little burned out doing all the interactives after 2 hours of doing interactive.
And no breaks.
I was just exhausted after the rest of the day, and my day was kind of didn't have enough energy to do anything, so I got a little burned out. Going to try and get back to it on the Friday, approximately 11 my time. Okay, and then I think that's it. So again, thank you, everybody. This has been fun.
And Happy New Year to everybody.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's today. In some places, that's already tomorrow.
Mhm.
So happy New Year, everybody, and
Wait,
thank
that's
you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Tom.
Pleasure.
And it was lovely to meet you, even if you did call me old.
You're just gonna concentrate on
I'm
that.
gonna live that down. I will.
She's not gonna be-
Never happening. Okay, thank you, everybody. And
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
okay, namaste, namasko. Love you all. Take care.
Have a great day, everybody.